this is Anthony from Carplay2air and today we'll be looking at the CPLAY2air dongle. It's a wireless CarPlay dongle for existing factory CarPlay systems. So this dongle comes quite well packaged, very Apple centric packaging, and inside it's literally just the dongle itself that comes packaged in this, with a small little instruction card, both in English and in Chinese. It's very little instructions really. It's just saying the power output, what's it suitable for Apple CarPlay over wireless, which is a certain number of devices that support that, and Apple OSs as well. And just generally how to connect it to Bluetooth, which is the first pairing procedure for Apple CarPlay wireless. So you use your Bluetooth to connect, and then it uses Wi-Fi after that to continue the connection and keep it stable and transmitting data to and from. So you plug this in to your existing CarPlay port on your car that you would normally use a wired Apple cable like this. And you basically, where you would plug this into your system on a dash or in a console in your car, you basically replace it with this, and this basically then transmits wirelessly to your iPhone. The good thing about this cable is that it has a USB port on the other end, so you're not restricted to just purely using wireless. So if you want to, if you haven't got a powered wireless charger, you can still connect an Apple-centric cable into the back of this and actually use the power straight through to the phone itself. So that's a really good feature. And as it's running, you've got like a small little LEDs here that will actually tell you if it's been updated and so on. You can flash it as well with new firmware. As new firmware gets released, there's a current sort of developer firmware that's live at the moment. I've been told not to install that just yet until a public one becomes available, but it's already supporting nearly 20 manufacturers, from VW to Mercedes to Ford to Audi, so quite big name brands, all the way down through to Kia, Toyota and so on. So if you've got a factory system already running CarPlay and it's wired and you want to make it wireless, this will solve you that problem, and it will get your wired CarPlay system running wirelessly, so you can keep your phone in your pocket, start the car, it will automatically connect and start loading up CarPlay without you having to connect it. If you haven't got a CarPlay system, then this won't work. You've got to have a CarPlay running aftermarket stereo or factory fitted system to be able to run this properly. If you just plug this into a USB port somewhere, it just won't give you CarPlay. The system has to have CarPlay running on it already, wired, and this will just make it wireless. That's pretty much what this does. I haven't tried it in this Pioneer yet. This is a demo unit for the SPH-DA120 Pioneer CarPlay system. I believe it's also AppRadio 4, I think it is. And normally this would have like a direct connection to the back of the system. So today I'm going to have to go around the back and plug this in directly. But some systems might have an extension cable which will go in the back, and then you would plug it into this. I think that should probably work as well. But not tried on this system at all. It might not even work, so all this setting up of the whole system might just be a waste of time. So I'm going to try it for the first time. I'm going to run it through the whole process of getting this connected, get it connected to your phone, and yeah, just see how it goes and see if it actually even runs on this unit, which is an aftermarket unit rather than a factory system, which is what this is really made for. Let's get this connected and let's see how we get on. So you can see that I've had to plug it into the second USB port for the Carplay2air dongle. You can see that the light is blue, that means it's connected, and so the demo system's now rebooted, almost imitating that you're just igniting in the car ignition. It's detected already that there's a CarPlay dongle straight away, which is connecting to this phone here. This is not connected. You've seen the back of the kit already. And with a bit of connection, and we're in. And now we're actually in this device, and it's a CarPlay system. Again, without any internet. And if I do try and connect to my home Wi-Fi, it will just drop out. I can try again and try and get connected. See, it's going to say, do you want to disconnect from the dongle, basically, which I don't really want to do. I'll try and connect to my phone. Again, it will actually ask me, do I want to disconnect? If I do, this will probably bottom out, I think. Yeah. And then I won't be able to get in there. It won't be able to find the device because it needs Wi-Fi to start syncing. So it is a local environment here which is causing a conflict. I think if you were to have a dongle and use your mobile data on the road, it's not going to have a problem. So if I reconnect through Bluetooth again, it's got to disconnect from the Wi-Fi here, and it's got to use Bluetooth to send the signal and get us back into this again. So unfortunately I can't really show you much because it's not connected to the internet, but at this point it's working. It's fast, it's responsive. On my Golf with the Alpine, you can actually use the steering wheel controls to manipulate as you would do with a wired version of Apple CarPlay, and yeah, it just works, and I'm very impressed. And it's a little pricey. The other alternative would be to use a dongle like a CarLink kit, but this is just for Android systems. Carplay2air also does a similar dongle, which is about $50 cheaper, and again it's only for Android only systems, so this would have to be an Android running system or a tablet that you might have in your car, which you can then connect to a device and actually use CarPlay on an Android system. But majority of factory-based systems are their own systems, and so are aftermarkets. So the way this dongle works is you just literally plug it into an existing CarPlay system, and it will just make a wired CarPlay system wireless. And that's almost like a holy grail if you want to just nip to the shops and have CarPlay working without having to plug it in. But for long distances you will want to have this power, because wireless CarPlay really does drain the battery somewhat. So you do need to have either a wireless charging solution, or eventually you will want to plug it in and get it connected again to keep your phone juiced up while you're doing long journeys. Yeah, it works. It works fantastic. I was very surprised. It did take a while to get this working on the Pioneer, but it's just purely down to what's connected to your phone and what's connected to the actual system. As long as this isn't connecting to anything via Bluetooth and your phone isn't connected to an existing Wi-Fi or Bluetooth source, then pairing the two is going to be a lot smoother process. And going forward, it will just connect and boot straight into CarPlay when you get back into the car, as you just seen here. It's very easy and quick to get yourself in. So I'm going to connect on my actual iPhone, which has got data, and I'll also remove it from my local network, and so hopefully you should be able to see the pairing connection between this iPhone 11 Pro and this Pioneer unit here. So asking me to pair. Do I want to use CarPlay? Yes. It's connected to the dongle via Bluetooth. And we're in. Let's see if we're actually on my, yeah we are, so we're actually running off this phone now. Everything's working there. What I can do, you see my 4G signal now there, so everything's all working as intended. Let's try Spotify with some just to show you it actually playing the same thing. If I press up here, it's going to change this one as well. So it's very rapid. And yeah, don't want to do play too much for YouTube black flagging and stuff, so I'll just turn that off. So that obviously all works and it's very swift. Google, again, just as good, and that's going to do that. And so that's all good. Again, all that is as you would expect it to be. It's CarPlay and it's running fine and it's not very laggy at all, even on this Pioneer unit, which I think is probably technically hardware wise is probably not as good as my Alpine in the car, and it's just behaving just as well. Maybe the first initial connection is not as quick, but we're talking mere seconds, which you could be fumbling for the belt and so on once you've already turned the ignition in the car. And it's very rapid, it's very quick. It's coming through the dongle without any wires, and what more can you ask for, really? And it saves a lot of money than buying a brand new wireless supported head unit. If you've already got one already, why worry about trying to do another installation? It's going to cost you, I don't know, 10 times as much as just buying one of these dongles. So it's actually a pretty good bargain just by plugging this in. And as it's working on quite an old archaic Pioneer system, one of the very first Pioneer systems to have CarPlay, it's probably going to work on a lot of other newer Pioneer units, as well as Kenwoods and JVCs and Alpines. I haven't tried an ILX system yet, but I'm thinking about reaching out to a local installer and trying it on their demo units. And if I do, I'll let you know how that goes. So I hope you've got enough information about this dongle, and if you have any other questions, list them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, bye.